infinite combo there. Okay, so yesterday we played against a engineered explosives weapons manufacturing deck that didn't pop off, but I think it really let me marry these two ideas together. Where one, Tezzeret is really good with weapons manufacturing, where this puts a lot of artifacts in play, which puts counters on Tezzeret, which lets you ultimate it and then start making a bunch of creatures to attack. And then Tezzeret could also grab engineered explosives. Wait, where are the explosives? Are they over here somewhere? Yeah, they are. Okay, so the explosives to kill your weapons manufacturing tokens to kill your opponent. And then playing weapons manufacturing is also like a pretty good way to be resilient to Wrath the Skies. So the more and more we play this new format, the more I think that this card to give you resiliency to Wrath the Skies alongside Kappa Cannoneer is just the move. I'm also trying Test of Talents as anti-Wrath tech over Invasive Surgery in this build because Delirium is hard to hit. So yeah, this is kind of the overlap. Like Tezzeret was really good in our build yesterday, playing the 4th Tezzeret this time, and it's even better alongside the weapons manufacturing plan is the idea in this build. I have a weird hand. I'm gonna click the keep button. So I can go 1/1/1, and then I can play Emissary, and then I can Thoughtcast. Really, which is like pretty acceptable to let me turn 2 Tezz if I find any other 0. Can you play Nissa too if you're in on Cobra? You can play Nissa. The problem with Nissa is that maybe I just Thoughtcast. No, I really want to get a token in play so I can tap to the drum next turn. I drew 2 drums instead. So the drums are really weird in this build. They're just so good with the Pinnacle Emissaries, and we're so color intensive. But we're not. They're kind of awkward with the Midmites without the Midmites and Ornithopters. But we'd have been really rewarded if we just waited a turn on the. But yeah, the thing is, like, Cobra is just so good on. Okay, we just drew another one. Cobra is so good in multiples too. Is kind of another issue with Nissa being legendary. If you combo Ice Till and mill your whole deck, are there any cards you can flashback that would win you when you do that? Not any that like super comes to mind, but there's got to be a few useful things, yeah. Graveyard of Marsh Flats. There's a Fireball. Yeah. There's a couple Fireballs to the graveyard. There's a Cut Rip. Yeah, we'll play more. We'll play more Nantuko for sure. It's just gonna take me some time to figure out what I feel like is the best direction to go. So I think we can ultimate the Tezzeret this. I get another. A little weird to get another Mox Opal, but I can go cast Tezzeret, untap a Mox Opal with the Tezzeret, cast Pinnacle Emissary, which puts Tezzeret to 5 loyalty, cast another Pinnacle Emissary, which pushes to 7, and then cast the Mox Opal from my hand, which puts it to 9. Then I get the ultimate. Alternatively, what happens if I cast Pinnacle Emissary first? So if I cast Pinnacle Emissary first, I can go Pinnacle Emissary, cast Tezzeret, cast Mox Opal. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go for the Tezzeret ultimate line. Got something? Maybe they're just surveilling because they're bored, or resolve Ophelia now. I don't know. They're just playing around, I guess. Okay, so Tezzeret. Oh, sorry. I guess we just cast this Mox Opal first. For some reason, I was thinking I could 0 the Tezzeret and ultimate it. But if I cast this Mox Opal, then I get to go cast Pinnacle Emissary, 5 loyalty. We have to cast this first. Weird game. Cast the Emissary. 0 the Tezzeret. We could grab Labship, and then we could only crew it 1 time. We could grab Bridge because we don't have any lands, but then we don't get the extra token off the Tezzeret. I think I'm just going to grab Bauble. And leave the Emissary untapped to try to block Ophelia. I think we could have played this turn. If we had just Thoughtcast before we played the first Emissary, that would have also been better. Do you remember Ketchermos? One of the cards of all time. So I guess they're gonna like exile my Pinnacle Emissary so they can get in and just draw a card. That's possible for us by a lot. Let's go and see what they're drawing. They are drawing a basic plains. Not a lot of info to be gained from that, I guess. Tezzeret does go down to 2, but then it goes back up to 4 when the Emissary enters. We draw a weapons manufacturing, which is interesting with possibly engineered explosives this turn. I feel like it's probably better for me to play the Pinnacle Emissary than it is for me to play the weapons manufacturing this turn. I could do both if I untap. Something with Tezzeret this turn, but I think I'm a bit more interested in. Well, I guess I could get like Aether Spellbomb and I could bounce the Ketchermos. That could be pretty good. Yeah, let's go weapons manufacturing. Weapon manufacturing Aether Spellbomb. And then this is going to put 3 loyalty on Tezzeret. And then my Aether Spellbomb will put 3 loyalty on Tezzeret. Why not ultimate here? I don't know that the ultimate is good enough, one, but this seems like a really good line. And if you want to ultimate, like, describe exactly what ultimating looks like to you, because it's definitely like a lot more complicated than just ultimate 5-head, right? There's like almost infinite decision points we could make here. I have the Welding Jar. They're going to target the Emissary, a region, and then they're going to flicker the Witch Enchanter and then kill the Emissary on the way down. Not a lot I can do about that. We might have lethal with Engineered Explosives. That'll be 4 munition tokens if I play the Emissary, although I guess I would be maybe missing a land. So I'm attacking them for 5 down to 9. I drew another weapon manufacturing. So I'm counting that I'm 1 damage short of lethal. Although I guess I would have to attack first too, huh? Or sorry, I'd have to tap the Springleaf Drum. So that's maybe just not even the case. I think that they're just not gonna expect the second copy of explosives very often. Although I could get anything else. I don't have to get explosives right now. I could just get I could get Bauble, and then the Tezzeret's loyalty grows by 5. Is 5 just not enough though? Yeah, I guess it's not enough. I guess I need to play this explosive so that I like force my opponent to. I force my opponent to kill the explosives, otherwise they're dead to any artifact. Such a weird game. Very cool game to start off with. Because like if they attack with the Felia and the Witch Enchanter on the Tezzeret, they could kill it, but then they wouldn't have flicker the Witch Enchanter with Felia to kill my explosives. And I think that they could really easily come to the conclusion that I only have 1 explosives in the deck. Yeah, maybe Mox and Emissary was good too. It gives me a lot more loyalty on Tezzeret also. This also seems so nuts. I think the fact that you can tutor it means like 2 is a pretty good number. It's very weird. It's also like, you know, it's early game enabler and late game payoff, so it's hard to evaluate. Are you playing a no land deck? No, we just have only drawn 1 land this game. It was Urza Saga, which is gone. We are operating off of no lands. Yeah, we could get Citadel too. That's true. Very fun game. They kill my explosives, and then this wins. We get 2 more explosives, and then we get 2 more munitions, and then we get explosives off Tezzeret, which gives us 2 more munitions, which we can use to deal 16. Can attack for 4 first. Is there another card that just has sack and artifact claws so we not blow up all zeros? I believe that there's no other artifact besides engineered explosives that's tutorable off of Tezzeret that can kill all of your munitions. And the fact that it's tutorable off Tezzeret is really important. See what they target here. But the fact that it's also a 0 in your Pinnacle Emissary, Thoughtcast, Thought Monitor, Kappa Cannoneer deck is a really big deal. I don't think they survive with a Solitude. They might, maybe if they have 2 Solitudes. This should be... Yeah, they need 2 Solitudes, 2 white cards as their last 4 cards. Yeah, there's Claws of Gix, but that costs a mana to activate. We could play Claws of Gix. Maybe the first Claws of Gix is better than the first Explosive. But the mana to act, like 1 mana to sack, kind of tough. But maybe it's right to do just a 1/1. I'd be really open to that idea. I do know that Karn collects Shaman sees play in paper. I don't think there's much idea with that card beyond that it is a sack outlet. You know, I don't really see the vision for that. All right, I think I'm just coming into Dismembers. I don't think I'm bringing in Consigns in this matchup. No room for Ravager. So I think so Ravager has not been that good in the builds. It's been fine, and so the fact that you get to turn Tezzeret into your sack outlet, for me it's a really big deal. For me, that's a really big deal. I think it's a really big selling point to me that we're not playing Ravager, because Ravager has not been very good. It's been really whatever. Yeah. Like Ravager hasn't been particularly bad, but I think that this just is maybe the build, you know. I know everybody loves Greater Gargadon, but it doesn't exactly seem like it either. Could be it. Boy Toy with the 34 months, welcome back. You have a Wrath, it seems. It's a little bit weird that when I use my Welding Jar, I think I should target the Opal, but like it might be a little difficult for me to play second Pinnacle Emissary and play I just can't play Emissary and Saga next turn under any circumstance because of the High Noon. I need to evaluate what's more important. Honestly, Explosives on 2 just seems to be the move, weirdly enough. Distal with the 21 months, thank you, welcome back. Okay, so we have... Dude, if we beat High Noon, Ephemerate, Clarion Conqueror, that'll feel pretty good. Sorry, Wrath Disguise, High Noon, Clarion Conqueror. How much does this cost? This costs 3. A little bit of an annoying amount. They shouldn't block here. Yeah. Play around Ephemerate like this. And we can go sack the Explosives on their end of turn. Wait, why didn't we float a mana and kill it end of turn? I just messed up, I guess. Dude, Decks with Ravager also run Ballista, another 0 Turbo Tezz. I haven't seen any build that does that, but you could do that. It would definitely be reasonable. So funny that we're getting like so much value off of our explosives, which I guess, you know, maybe we should have expected that to happen more often than maybe see on paper. Nice Ephemerate, High Noon, Clarion Conqueror. Play some sideboard cards next time. Play some sideboard cards next. And actually, the 50 months, think you will come back? I think we might have solved it. I really think this Tezzeret explosives manufacturing plan ties the room together so well. I've seen a lot of Tezzeret in like Tron, not a lot of in Infinity Farm. You only had 2 Wrath guys this game? Come prepared next time! I don't know. I don't know if this bit is funny. It's a little funny. Yeah, EOE's been so fun. Glad you're liking it. I'm loving it. Kona was not ready for Affinity. I'll look into 7. Runs on a mold of 5. I think I'm gonna take a peek at my top card. I really want to land so that I can just do this. Now I need to think if I want to save the Aether Spellbomb to trigger the weapons manufacturing, or if I want to just play it out now. So when I go manufacturing Bauble, yeah, I think it's better to play it for the trigger, because then I could Thoughtcast for 1 mana, I guess. And then so it's gonna be the same amount of mana, but I'll have 1 extra token in play. And because I drew the bridge, I can crack this Bauble. That'll give me 4 artifacts for the Thoughtcast. Oh, the bridge actually gives me... Okay, we're playing against Neoform. That's good. We can bring in Test of Talents. We can bring in... That's it, basically. They finally caught me. I'm finally starting to skimp on Neoform hate. Yeah, there's been a lot of audio issues today. I apologize for them. There's not really... I think we've troubleshooted enough. I'll troubleshoot off stream some more. Okay, I mean they might just not have a consign, or they might not find it in time. We also can Aether Spellbomb bounce the Gristlebrand. Although they could be playing a build that's playing Nourishing Shoal. I think Nourishing Shoal is probably becoming more stock, right? Yeah, they shoal, so now they can draw 7 more. Very difficult for them to not find the consign. Yeah, I could just draw Engineered Explosives, that's true. They discard 10 cards. They discard 2 consigns, so they probably have another one. They replicate. I don't think we can probably beat them gaining 8 life, but I think we do. I think we have some series that draws into explosives. Obviously, they're going to replicate the consign. They hit me for 11, and that's probably their whole turn. So I have only 3 artifacts, which is pretty annoying. I think I have to Thoughtcast first. So this puts me up to 5 artifacts. So maybe I could chump block the Brand for this turn. Find Mox Opal would be good. And no. Game 2. So I guess Test of Talents is my sideboard card here. It's actually a pretty good sideboard card. Cut the Shadowspear. Let's cut the Tormod's Crypt. I don't know. I don't think I want to bring a Needle for Gristlebrand. Let's cut the Labship also and hope for the best. I do think that we might get to kill them just with some weapons manufacturing. Harbinger. We could bring in Harbinger. We should probably have a Grafdigger's Cage in the board. I just gotta cut the hate after not running into this matchup for a while. But maybe that's wrong. Hard-handed mulligan. His talents is mostly for Wrath Disguise, but it's also good against Living End and matchup. A little too telegraphed, the rebuke here. Arcbound Ravager munitions make me believe. Well, we have played Ravager. We're not playing Ravager in this build. Tezzeret is our sack outlet. See if they continue to miss land drops. Bad for me. This kind of feel like they have Force of Vigor, doesn't it? If you didn't draw Stevens, would you still have made a construct? Yeah, because I could play Saga then Opal to make a Test of Talents up. Just like, or my plan was I could also get the drum. Okay, so this is probably them getting Disciple of Freyalise for the land. I couldn't remember the name of the creature for a second. So maybe they have Pact of Negation. But you know, their deck's kind of tough to beat sometimes. They can see before I get to see their list. I think that's correct. I do think the Harbingers on the draw are likely too slow, but I do just kind of need a way to cheese them because I have such little interaction against them, I guess. And we can, in theory, play them turn 2, so that might be fast enough. Hopefully. I don't know. The problem with Needle Gristlebrand is they just get something else. This hand might just kill them. They're on a mull to 6 also. Maybe, I think if they snap kept 7, we could try to mulligan. But I think in kind of a tough matchup, we could maybe hope that they stumble a little bit again, and then we just kill them the old-fashioned way. So it looks like they have Nature's Claim or Consign up. Hoping it's Consign. So Consign stopping the Saga ability to make mana would be not great. So let's save the explosives because we think they have Consign, right? See what they're drawing. They're drawing a Hedge Maze. That's probably not going to let them kill me next turn. Graveyard to Dispute. That could be maybe what they're holding up also. They're drawing a Nature's Claim. That's a really good card to know about. I'm gonna try to bait Consign with the explosives now that I drew this Harbinger. So they could have Dispute and Consign, and we could tap them out here. So right now I'm hitting them for 8, 9, 10. All right, let's slam the Harbinger. I think that we might be getting disputed, but kind of hard to not slam it. Packed. Okay. Hard to feel too bad about that happening. They Consign their pact, then they're drawing a Nature's Claim, so it's very unlikely they'd kill me here. They Nature's Claim to Saga because they think I remembered to put hate in my deck for their deck, which not do. Now we get to set up a spot where we just have lethal and play next turn. I guess if we draw really, really well off of our Thought Monitor. Draw Mox Opal, untap land, or double Mox Opal, we could kill them. We also have the Welding Jar to protect our explosive. But they just have a Hedge Maze on top. All right. So we have 9 munitions. That's 18 damage. They play a Hedge Maze. They could maybe like replicate Consign on our munition damage. That shouldn't be stopping enough. Let's see what they're drawing. A Nourishing Shoal. It's interesting. All right, we won. Nice. Got a mulligan. Close to being great. We keep on 6 on the draw. Okay. I do wonder if the manufacturing makes us, or the explosive stuff, in theory this makes us better in the mirror, but I don't really know. I think play draw and like having a strong hand like this is certainly going to be more important. Should help, yeah. I was not. They're playing Imri, Tomio, and Flame of Ador. Very different build from us. I was really unhappy with Imri and Tomio, honestly. I do think Tomio is pretty, like, really, really bad. Imri's a little bit better, but despite them being all-stars previously, I've been, just happy to cut them, I think. We're one short of a Kappa Cannoneer, right? Short. So we would have had one more token if we had held the Shadowspear. Oh no, because we needed that. That's not true because the Thoughtcast is. Well, I guess we could have. Yeah, no, we could have cast it. So never mind. They would have discounted the Thoughtcast. They repeal my explosives. I don't know why they're repealing a spell. I guess maybe they want to counter it. But like, you would think they would repeal a token, right? They do find a land. I think enabling Amber Flame is worth it. I think our build is better than their build, but it's early. I think that's one fun thing is that these affinity builds, there's like 3.5, or there's 3.5 cards. There's like Synthesizer Labship is good. There's also the O4 that gets power based on like highest mana value artifact. That card we still haven't tried yet. That card's probably not optimal, but I think Labship is pretty good. So there's like 4 new cards to try in the deck, and there's so many combinations to play them in. Very, very interesting. Okay, so they have a rebuke up. They're gonna rebuke my explosives? There's like no way, right? Maybe they would. Grab a Springleaf Drum. So if I go cast Pinnacle Emissary and then they rebuke, I go 0/0, and I can't quite Kappa Cannoneer. Let's see if they rebuke this. I think they might. Don't. Guess it is. Guess that was predictable. All right, let's see if they rebuke this. Maybe they don't have it. Oh, I didn't realize that they knew I had the Kappa. Well, I got another one. Let's see what they're drawing. Mox Opal. Into the Mox Opal step, mandatory part of Modern. Yeah, still haven't done the Mox Opal. Does have Haywire Might? Well, maybe, yeah. I guess we could just play it off of the Opals and the drums. One is probably right. Now remember, we have explosives in play. We might set up for a spot where we cast Kappa Cannoneer and sack explosives, depending on what the board. They might Haywire Might my explosives. They might Haywire Might my Shadowspear. They Haywire Might the explosives. Then maybe they replay the Might. They replay a Bauble instead, so they're representing Rebuke, unless they tap the Opal. They could kind of easily just be trying to draw into Rebuke too. No attacks is thing. Hard to say what's right and what's wrong. It does seem like the more important card to resolve to break up the board stall. Maybe he gets countered, but maybe it doesn't. Okay, so we've got two board stall breakers in play. Might take a little bit while to realize those gains. I guess I'm leaving the drone token back to block. I guess they just have the Haywire Might for the weapons manufacturing. So, dang, I guess, sorry. Probably just... you cannot warp from the graveyard with Imri. They legend rule Imri first, so their hand's probably not very good. They mill a Steel Cutter, as well as a Imri and a Repeal. Good to see Steel Cutter still in the hands of some gamers. I have come around and cut it from this build, though. Are there manufacturing enablers again for Tezz? Yeah, engineered explosives. That's kind of like the main idea here. They're gonna undo this. I mean, wait. They're not sending in. They're just sacrificing a drone token unless they kill my. Right? I gain 2 and I take 2 and they lose a drone token. Everybody's brain's broken by Edge of Eternity, I think. See the second. They might not be playing Kappa Cannoneer, which is probably wrong. Now, it's also maybe wrong for me to not be sideboarding Hercule's Recall. I'm kind of thinking that because I'm on the weapons manufacturing, that I don't need to be on the recalls, and that might be true, and that might not be true. I think against their build with Flame, I'm happy with the Jar, though. I'm happy with Needle for Imri, and happy to just run it back. I don't think I want to bring in a Test of Talents or Dismembers. Actually, I do want the Dismembers. Never mind. Let's cut the Aether Spellbomb. I do like the Labship. It might be... I mean, it's got a Drum. Was the final record of the red-green landfall deck? I think we were 2-3 or 3-2, but determined that it's a deck that is very, very difficult to play on Magic Online. So I want to play a build that's a bit more Magic Online friendly. The combos are so many clicks. My finger is starting to hurt. I guess we just go for the turn 2 Kappa Cannoneer. I was going to lead on the Labship, but I think with this draw, we just set up for the Cannoneer. They look to be on a build. Mingu posted just Cutter Emissaries, no Kappas. I was playing Cutter also, but I've just been really unimpressed by Tommy. I think Tommy is just not a good fit for this type. The Opal is going to be online with Rebuke available to tap the Clue token and the Seal Cutter if they have Rebuke up. That would be really bad. They don't attack, which doesn't... They definitely should have attacked. There was no downside. Can't block. Oh, they tapped out. Could have triple blocked. These can only block creatures with flying. Oh, I could have blocked the Tom. Oh, I could have triple blocked the Tomio. I'm criticizing. I was so stunned by the Steel Cutter not attacking. This is the second time I've missed this block, though. Well, that's on me. Game of Honor? Flame targeting the Jar. I guess we might have. No artifacts in the yard right now for Imri. You concede. Great. Get a trophy prediction going. It seems to be not really any synergy. Besides maybe making tokens for your Urzas or whatever. Alright, I think... Try this one. Let me look at my top card first. If I draw, if I see a Pinnacle Emissary or Manufacturing, I'm gonna hold on to my other Bauble. We have played Enchantress before one. I thought that build looked good. What does Labship have over a prototype from Kamigawa? They do such incredibly different things. It's like Moonsnare prototype and Synthesizer Labship. They have the same mana cost and they're both artifacts, but I can read you the differences. They're very, very different cards. Very, very, very different cards. I almost played Moonsnare. Moonsnare is a card you can play in this deck. I'm gonna pretend like I rebuke, not sack you. So it is the 33. Thank you. Welcome back. Let's find something. Something. I think I'm gonna crack this. I know We could leave. We still have a 1 mana rebuke if I just play the bridge. Thoughtcast. Right, now we get to go. They have like a Solitude or something. Don't expect discharge because they're Celestial. Solitude pitch all Fate Stalkers. So they're like a green white Birthing Ritual deck. I assume they're gonna Ephemerate if they crack the fetch. So we probably are just not gonna play the Thought Monitor turn. But they do have this token as a target, so it's not like we're blanking the value by doing that. I think I'm okay to just keep the ball rolling a little bit. They got 3 cards in their hand. Obviously, Thought Monitor number 2, great draw. Probably save this Mox Opal for. I could draw another manufacturing. Our bands. Quantum Riddler inbound, maybe. Claw would be a fetch you'd think about here. Yeah. I think we could pretty easily play Claw over Explosive or over Explosives number 2. Or over like the main deck Crypt. Yeah, I do think you missed the trophy prediction. Opponent is deep in the tank on the Surveil. They put a Starfield Shepherd in the graveyard, then they untap. They have 4 cards in their hand. Yeah, the Art and Edge of Eternity is just so cool. Best set ever. They have a Haywire Might that can go after my manufacturing or my Saga. They choose Saga. We'll see if that's right or wrong. I think in this board it's probably looking pretty correct. They make no attacks, but they gained life. Seems like I probably just want the extra warp trigger. I have so much mana. I'll just go ahead and warp this and then save the Opal still. Get in with the drone token. So if I find explosives, then I get 3. I can deal 12 damage off my munitions. They find a Birthing Ritual, which is very scary. We have a lot of really good top decks, though. Still have 6 more Thoughtcasts in the deck. We have 4 Tezzerets. We have explosives. We have Tezzeret 4 explosives. We have Kappa Cannoneer, of course. And I think I do just one more drones. Maybe it was a mistake not to get the extra drones last turn. It can be hard to tell sometimes how much we're supposed to hold back. I do think I want to keep the Thought Monitor back still. So Tezzeret for explosives or explosives are both worth 14 damage plus the flyer, so that might be lethal. Is Shepherd feeling better than Ranger Captain overall? I mean, if you're a Felia Ephemerate deck, it is the main places you'd want to play Ranger Captain anyways. And like Storm isn't very popular right now, although Storm is probably very good at the moment. This deck needs Greater Gargadon. I don't think Greater Gargadon is good, but you could include it in the deck if you wanted to. Like, are you gonna cut what are you gonna cut for Greater Gargadon? Not a companion, unfortunately. Tezzeret should be lethal. Wait, they're just giving me a free basic? Why are they targeting my bridge? Thanks, opponent. Just target the indestructible one. Solitude is killable if they just find Witch Enchanter or Solitude off the Birthing Ritual. Oh, sorry, Kappa Cannoneer is killable if they find one of those. Should be able to attack with my other flyers though. For all my flyers. Oh wait. Do I sacrifice this for 1 damage basically? Seems kind of unnecessary. I think I'll go ahead and get in for. Yeah, Ephemerate kills Cannoneer. What about Splashing Sake to snack munitions? Well, I think 4 Tezzerets and 2 explosives is a good number. You can also play a Claws of Gix if you feel like you want one more. Splashing a 3rd color is tough, despite like we have played Snake weapons manufacturing, but I just kind of think there's an Izzet build and a Rakdos build. I don't think that you should try to be Grixis. My Kappa Cannoneer is pretty likely to die. If it doesn't die, that's great. Yeah, explosives is our sack outlet, and it's just really nice that it's like a cheap 0 for your busted starts, and then it also like is fetchable off Tezzeret. Right, there's the Tezzeret. Again, Time Steve is just you're splashing another color, and I agree that it's very fun, but this is probably better still. This is going to be 22 damage if it resolves. Oh, you should play with Greater Gargadon. I will ban anyone or timeout anyone who suggests Greater Gargadon or any of these silly cards without suggesting what I cut from the list. You're getting a timeout. No Greater Gargadon fans. Before Opal, 4 Drum, 4 Saga, 4 Tezzeret, those Snake is almost a free splash. Maybe. What are we cutting? Okay, my one regret is no. We got to kill them with the. We have to kill them with the. The problem is they're already dying to my Kappa Cannoneers. Alright, so we're up a game against Birthing Ritual. They probably are going to have Wrath the Skies. I think we're going to bring in a Test of Talents, hitting a Ephemerate. Cut the Aether Spellbomb. Let's cut the Crypt. Yeah, just cut. I think we cut the Aether Spellbomb, Shadowspear. We're just kind of all not good against that. Yeah, I agree that Saga getting Claws is pretty good. I'll go ahead and in the Mox field cut the Tormod's Crypt for Claws of Gix. Just let's let them hold a 6. We're joining them. Already put back Kappa Cannoneer. Yeah, you could. I think I want to keep it in the second explosive. Yeah, of course you play a Claws over a Gargadon. Not that any chatter wants to hear that. How was the blue spaceship felt? I liked it yesterday. We haven't drawn it a lot today, but it was good enough yesterday that I want to keep it in for now. I don't feel like I fully understand the card though. A warp creature? Also playing Emissary, Riddlesmith, Daredevil. It's a lot of low quality cards to make your already high quality card in Emissary better. You know what I mean? Just seems pretty unnecessary. So if I go to 1 loyalty to get it Mox Opal, I go back up to 2 loyalty. Not great. 3-mana Mox Opal. Any standout deck? There's been a lot. The Riddler deck's really good. This deck has been really good. The Ice Tail Explorer decks have been good, but you know, you gotta watch the stream of the week. You can't pop it on a Friday and say any decks are good so far. There's just too much going on right now. So we didn't get lucky to draw 2 zeros to keep the Tezzeret alive. Another Riddler for the ritual. Okay, I think we'll go to the next game. Bring in the Dismember since we see Clarion Conqueror, and I think we'll just play 2 tests. Not sure if they're in Wrath guys or not. Worth going up 3-4. I think that the first Claws of Gix is better than the third Explosive. Say mega utility all game. I think is not true for the most part. Like you're not gonna kill stuff with it that often, but it's mostly like early game, Darksteel Relic, and then mid to late game, win the game button. So if that's mega utility, then still undecided for showcase. I have 3 decks that I'm kind of choosing between. This would be one of them. And I'm kind of deciding. One of them is boring, but I think super well positioned. And so if I pick that, I might just play it off stream and then turn the stream on if I do really well. Yeah, Claws is I don't know what makeshift munitions is, but yeah, it's fetchable is why. Yeah, so yeah, I know drums could be Moonsnare. They were Moonsnares for a little bit. They're easier to make mana, but they don't make colored mana, which is a really, really big problem. Play a Tezzeret. Hopefully, they don't have Consign. Well, we have second Tezzeret at least. So next turn, I'm probably gonna go Tezzeret, get Darksteel Citadel, and then cast Weapons Manufacturing. Most interesting, Enigma Jewel. Wait, a Jewel doesn't really synergize with anything, right? Why Jewel? Okay, they grab a Haywire Might, they cast a Haywire Might, and then pass. I think we're sticking to the plan. Tezzeret goes to 2 loyalty, and then gonna go to 4 after I play the jar. And then maybe we lose the manufacturing to the Haywire Might. So I'm in pretty good shape. Is Consign even good against me? Not particularly. Not particularly bad either. I think I would bring it in. Another Starfield Shepherd. They might get like Ocelot Pride, and then okay, they just get a land. Probably means they have. Wait, they get Plains, so that Plains doesn't cast Quantum Riddler. Not sure. Tezzeret's down to 3 loyalty. I might get to ultimate the Tezzeret. I don't know if I should prioritize that or getting explosive. Wow. Let's see. So I mean, obviously, since they've gone ahead and done that. Wow. Ooch. I really hope they Wrath. Okay, getting pretty flooded though. Quantum Riddler on top. I guess the problem with hoping they Wrath. My board is incredibly good against Wrath. Like, Wrath does nothing against me. But maybe we can Test of Talents for 8, which would also be pretty good. Yeah, if they Wrath, it's so weird. They definitely have it in their hands. I guess we'll just hold it up. Awesome, Face Injury Weekend off and owned. Thank you for the 21 months. Hope you're doing well. Oh, sorry. Obviously, Emissary first. So this we could cash in the Tezzeret for an ultimate, but I don't want to lose it either. Draw 2. Pretty sure we warp just so that we can test up and we'll ultimate. Also, just having another artifact to cast is we'll ultimate the Tezz. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and put 3 counters on Thought Monitor. Yeah, it's funny to me that you oftentimes warp Emissary on like turn 6 or 7 with enough mana just so you can cast another artifact next turn. So weird. Again, Wrath is so bad against me here. It's very funny. This is definitely the best build against Wrath Disguise in the current modern arms race. Like, I am gonna Test of Talents so I can get my revenge, but if they Ephemerate, I'll Test of Talents that instead, because Ephemerate's way better than Wrath here. Like, I have 2 munition tokens in play. Okay, can't Dismember Quantum Riddler. We got a game. I'm gonna tap this in case they hit Clarion Conqueror, I guess. Not that that's probably gonna matter. Yeah, Tezzeret on the bridges is cool, but I think putting them on the Thought Monitors is also really nice so that we just completely ignore the Wrath Disguise. That they do have in hand. That they really telegraphed it earlier. An Elish Norn, huh? Weird that they have that in against me. I guess doubling up their stuff is good. At least gonna play one of the emissaries. Probably play. Oh, Elstorm turns off my Tezzeret. Wait, do we still just have lethal in the air? It's so boring if we do. Okay. They pitched a Starfield Shepherd. They get to exile 2 of my things, so we don't have lethal here. They don't have Ephemerate. Their hand should be Wrath Disguise Mystery card. +2 Ravager, -1 Carls, -1 Welding Jar Labship. I think that the first. I don't think that I'm interested in adding Ravager. I think that especially with the Claws, which isn't actually the deck right now, it's just in the Mox field because I want to make that change. Just plenty of sack outlets. They get to draw 2 cards here. Okay, so let's go ahead and Test of Talents that. And then we might get Wrath Disguised, but then we get to double munition token them, so it's not even like a problem. What's in their hand? Yeah, their hand is just the Wrath Disguise. They really telegraphed it earlier. Maybe if they hit like a Solitude or a Witch Enchanter, we could be in some trouble. I think we're in really good shape though. They do get to draw. Sorry, this actually lets them draw an extra card too. They got the card out of their hand. They can't Solitude Ephemerate anymore. Just thought Ravager sacking munitions and drones was cool to beef up something. Yeah, I mean that's honestly last week's tech is the Ravager. This is Tezzeret explosives, Claw of Gix is this week's tech. We do have a Spellbomb. I boarded it out. I wasn't really thinking about Elish Norn. I thought it was kind of bad against the all ETB flick deck. I might get to like attack and then Dismember Norn as it blocks. They should have an attack on the Tezzeret they missed. Okay, so they're gonna Wrath. I'm gonna regen Drone. Yeah, this is just bad for them. I just get to deal them 4 damage. This just probably is the wrong move on their part. Although I guess if they hit like a Solitude or a Witch Enchanter, yeah, maybe they're fine shit. They do find something. Something is a Solitude. They exile my Thought Monitor and my Drone token. But then I get to Dismember and then force a chump block. Start off with this. Yeah, we can do some more stuff. Second main phase. We'll just go Solitude here. Oh, they're just dead on board. They would have been more dead if I mean, we get got by Solitude either way, but bummer, they're just dead. All right, let's wait for the trophy. I do feel like this deck is getting pretty close to solving it. Definitely keeping this. Yeah, Tezzeret's been really good. Tezzeret's been really, really good. I think this is one thing that people are missing is that Tezzeret's really good with manufacturing because manufacturing makes Tezzeret gigantic, and then Tezzeret gets the explosives, and then Tezzeret's just so versatile. And both manufacturing and Tezzeret and Kappa Cannoneer, of course, they make you way more resilient than the other builds are. We have 13 edge cards actually. We're playing one of the ship. The ship was good yesterday. We haven't played it this week. I think I just cast the manufacturing and then pass so I can save all these triggers for next turn. I don't like the ship. Station sucks. I mean, have you played with it? We played with it yesterday. And it was good yesterday. It was like a 1-mana 4/4 flying vigilance that made something else a 2/2 pretty fast. Okay, this is our second Neoform opponent this league. Not actually a very poor matchup, kind of unlucky. But they've kept a 1-lander. So, maybe Station sucks, but that doesn't mean every card with Station is equally bad. Wasn't it better to play Saga? You get a trigger from Citadel ETB. I was thinking that I wanted to save the Saga to maybe like make a token the following turn if we're playing in a really grindy matchup. The fact that we are not playing in a really grindy matchup, I definitely feel like I got a little punished. Got a lot of artifacts in play. Okay, we like seeing a planar Genesis on top. Settles a little bit. Draw just a basic island. They concede. Wow. Alright, the Harbingers were pretty good last time. Let's bring them in again. Then I wanted to go down. Maybe go down 1 Cannoneer, 2 Tezzerets, cut the Shadowspear, the Labship, the Crypt, the Jar. No, I want to keep it in the Crypt. I want to keep it in the Jar, not the Crypt. Lock it. I don't know if Needle Gristlebrand is correct. It feels like it's a little narrow. Although, you know what? We can play one over a drum. I think that's okay. Needle Besage is also real. Real talk, why did it take so comparatively long for people to discover how good Springleaf Drum is? It feels like it's only been around the last few years. It's been popular. You have a real revisionist history here. Like, Springleaf Drum was like a big modern staple in like 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013. Like, when Mox Opal was first legal, Springleaf Drum was just a big modern staple. And then Mox Opal got unbanned, and then people are playing it again. People know it's good. It's not. Is Consign no longer good versus Neobrand? They moved off the Zingos Galt to combo kill. The problem is it's like you hold up Consign, and sometimes it gets that, right? Sometimes it gets that. You still have to deal with a freaking 12-12 trample, which isn't like usually that beatable if you spend your turns holding up Consign. But even if you do that, then they sometimes just get Gristlebrand instead, and you look like a freaking idiot for holding up Consign. So it does have moments for sure, but I would not say it's a good sideboard card against Neobrand. Good name, Gristlebrand Enraged here. Right. Well, beat Neobrand twice somehow, without hate for it. This deck looked really, really good. This deck looked really, really, really good. Let's pay out the believers. So I really need to eat lunch. Okay. Full disclosure, I've been having a lot of digestion problems this week. If I've seen cranky, that's why. I might have the same problems tomorrow, and if that's the case, I probably will not stream the showcase challenge until later in the day if I wake up how I've been waking up every day this week. That being said, I think I'm going to play this. I'm going to play the mid-range energy deck potentially, or I'm going to play